right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and don't shoot the messenger. And, well, Art Farm, Rob McDonald, has got one of the most unique operations anywhere in the world. And I never forget the first time I met Rob McDonald. He started a little company called Old Bridge Cellars. It was at Café Maxx 20 years ago. He walked in the door and said, "Man, I want to show you vintage Australian Chardonnay." And I said, "Man, you're out of your mind." A 10-year-old Leeuwin Estate, and this wine was spectacular. It really was a turning point for me, and when I realized you would need to take Australian wine seriously. So he sold that, made a bunch of money, I'm guessing, because I don't know how he's making money on these wines. It really an effort of passion, and this is a guy that is very sharp in terms of he knows a lot of the right people in Napa Valley. He doesn't own an acre of grapes. He buys everything, and he's managed to amass some really unique vineyard sites here and create some very unique blends. And I didn't get these wines at first because they're all lot numbers and they're all different. You got white wine number 2, white wine number 1, and then lot 813, and the lot refers to the month and the year it was bottled. And these wines contain different vintages. They contain different varietals, and that to me is the hardest thing to do in making wine, blending and creating consistent products. Hey, the champagne people, just like perfume makers, some of their chef de caves get handed down from one generation to another generation because this is a very specific skill set that only a certain number of people have. Well, anyways, these Art Farm wines, very unique. The first wine, the Messenger White number 2, a blend of Grenache, Picpoul, Blanc, Roussanne, Viognier from the Dunnigan Hills. This is an area near Sacramento. Very fresh bouquet here. Lovely tree fruits, peaches, pears, and 100% barrel fermented in old oak, so you don't get any of that new oak, but it's on the lees, so it adds a little richness there. Good amount of ripe fruit on the tongue, notes of that salty minerality and lemon zest. Very good little wine at $15. Wow, great little value. The Messenger White, white wine number 1, lot 314. Primarily 13 vintage with a bit of 12 and 10 blended in. He likes what these older wines give to wine, a little oxidative character, and adds a little complexity. So this wine's a blend of Sauvignon Blanc, Muscat, and Riesling with a nice touch of that white floral note you get from the Riesling, some white grapefruit, lemon, pineapple, some briny character also. Sauvignon Blanc and Riesling are from Lake County, and the Muscat is from Ukiah. This one's got a kind of a sweet tart-like fruit on the finish with some nice tongue-tingly minerality, nice finish, nice freshness in all these wines. Some nice floral notes and a hint of spice on the finish. An excellent wine for $18. All right, and then the red wines, number 1, lot 914, bottled September 2014, a blend of Cabernet, Ruby Cabernet, Carignan, Alicante Bouschet, Malbec, Merlot, Montepulciano, Petit Verdot. Who puts this group of grapes together? Rob McDonald does. It's from all over Northern California, and 25% of this wine goes back in the barrel or the tank, depending on the vintage, to be blended back in. So kind of unique, like I said, the whole process he goes to making these wines. This wine's got a complex bouquet, though, of dark spices, roasted meats, kind of dark fruits, black plum, coffee, espresso, mocha. Really nice complexity in this wine, even better on the second day, showing lovely freshness, echoing that spice and nuance on the nose through the finish. Excellent juice at $18. Again, I don't know how we're making money here, Rob, because these wines all very reasonably priced, and it sounds like it takes an awful lot of work to put them together. The red wine number 2, lot 814, an outrageous blend. Grenache, Syrah, Zinfandel, Mourvedre, and Viognier. Well, not quite as outrageous as the first, but anyways, it's got a little bit of black olive, fine herb, notes to the sun-dried cherry, dark spices on the nose. Nice amount of silky tannins on the tongue, though. This wine drinking really nice, that ripe, dark cherry berry fruit. And thick and chewy, but has a really nice balance like all these wines do. For $18, another excellent little value. Well, thank God he started making vintage and varietal wines. These Art Farm Circadia wines, which they have a kind of a map on the label. It looks like some kind of weird graphic design, but it's actually a map and pinpointing the location of all the vineyards where they get the wine from. And this is the Chardonnay, which is California appellation. Most of it comes from Clarksburg and a little bit from Napa. And this one's got a nice amount of ripe tropical fruit on the nose, just a kiss of vanilla spice and white flowers, a good amount of that ripe tree fruit showing on the tongue, rich and creamy, but a nice hint of acidity here. A very good little Chardonnay for $22.50. The Sauvignon Blanc up next. This one's got a nice fresh green melon, fig-like fruit, and it's picked cold at 40 degrees and brought into the winery cold, fermented cold, 100% varietal, all from Lake County, a great source for Sauvignon Blanc. And they pick it at different times so to get different degrees of ripeness in the grapes. And a lot of people are doing that because the ones that are picked early have got good acidity. Ones that are picked later have got better fruit. So it's a good way to create a blend and add complexity to a wine by using the same grape, same vineyard even, and just picking at different times. So really fresh. And hey, you know, Rob's a pioneer, man. The next thing he's doing is these St. Mayhem wines. He was telling me these 3 wines he's coming up with, and he's going to be putting jalapeno peppers in the wine when he ages them. Give it a little spice. He's also got a red Merlot that's cold brewed with coffee and aged with jalapeno peppers. All right, and dig this, a Chardonnay with peach, dried ginger root, and chili peppers. I said, man, can we ferment a little bit of that with some weed? I know it's legal out there now in California. That would give you a wicked buzz. Anyways, the Sauvignon Blanc, really nice, fresh, in 1950. Another great value. Hey, we got one wine we could sell here at Wine Watch and make a little money on, the Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa at $75. This is a collection of 20 different vineyards from Oak Knoll in the south of St. Helena, and a complete wine from Napa is what Rob was trying to make. Really plush and rich, but not overripe. And a good amount of ripe, currant, and dark cherry fruit here. A nice touch of oak, but 90% of it is older oak, 2 years or older. Only 400 cases, and this wine's got a nice balance to it. Some tobacco spice, some loamy, earthy notes, dark berry fruit, and nice complexity here on the nose. Even big and chewy on the palate, but wonderful balance, wonderful freshness, and just a nice touch of oak spice here. Excellent structure, even better on the second day. Excellent juice at $75. So we had to drink with our friend Rob McDonald. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.